So hello everyone, and thank you for coming in today. I welcome you to the LF Energy presentation on Operator Fabric. I'm Clément Bouvier from RTE, and I will present you this project that has been in development for 4 years now and in production at RTE for 2 years. So today, I'm going to present to you what is a TSO very quickly. Maybe some of you are not familiar. And mainly the activities at RTE that led to the need for Operator Fabric. Then I will present to you the main features of OpFab, short for Operator Fabric. And finally, the second half of this presentation will be a demonstration of a use case showing the processes that we use with OpFab to deal with crisis management. So, a TSO is a transmission system operator. It is a company that is in charge of the high voltage lines and electrical substations across a region. RTE as a TSO, it is 100,000 kilometers of high voltage lines across the country. There is 46 interconnectors, those are the connections between countries, with the bordering countries. 2,800 electrical substations, close to 10,000 employees, and most importantly, 8 control rooms. Those are the main users of OpFab at RTE. So those 8 control rooms in France, there is one national control room overseeing national issues, and 7 control rooms who have influence over designated region. This is a photo of what it looks like inside. It's operators with a lot of screens to monitor what is going on the electrical grid, and they have the mission to maintain the supply and demand balance of electricity. So this is the main point that I want to come to. The control rooms, they have to communicate with hundreds of actors for different reasons, and all those people need clear communication between them. So this is why we have Operator Fabric that has been created. The main features are real-time coordination. This allows the actors to see who has seen which information, who has acted upon what, and it allows to send information really quickly between different actors. There is also the centralization of real-time business events. That is to say, OpFab, at its core, is a messaging and alerting software. So there is an API and also other service that allows other applications to communicate with Operator Fabric so that you can have all sorts of alerts synchronized in one place. And everything is done through quick and reliable information transmission. That's because every message is formatted from a template. So we modeled every situation that can happen in scenarios, and to each scenario there is a template, and this template can be customized, and the operator has really the minimum inputs necessary to transmit the information to all the relevant people. And there is also a very adaptable UI, so you can basically do anything you want with the templates, and also connect other applications to use OpFab for alerting. So if we take a closer look at what it looks like in the screenshot. So this is the main screen of Operator Fabric. Here on the bottom left, we can see the card feed. So a card is what we call the message that we receive. You receive the cards here. Here you can see the content of the card. So in this example, the operator has to answer a question with checkboxes. And it's just a simple question, and he can send the answer. And here on the top row, we have a timeline that tells you which events are coming here. The different colors are for the severity of the message. There are a few other menus that I won't talk about today. Now, if an operator wants to send a card, we can see here that there are up to three decision trees that you can use to select which scenario you are in. And then once it's selected, here you can have basically anything you want to have the minimum of input and represent your scenario. So here you can select a date, say that calculation 1 is done, and select who you want to send the message to, and you can send the message. Now that we've seen OpFab, we're going to see a use case crisis management at RTE. So there are 8 control rooms in France, and they all need coordination between them through OpFab, because in this scenario, there's going to be an issue in the Bordeaux region, and every actor is going to have to do actions to manage the crisis. So in this particular, and we've asked for the 500. So if we go now to the regional room, the control room, they receive the order. They can acknowledge first that they've received the order but didn't act upon it, so they can see it. The national control room knows it is in process. And first, the regional control room is going to shed load for the first block, which represents 200 out of the 500. And in real time, the national control room knows that the first block has been done. The action has been done, and they're waiting for the 300 left. In the region, they can change their answer until that the second block has been done and send the order. And now we see that in Toulouse, they have done their job. We're still waiting on NOT, but they are not connected right now, so we will be waiting for some time. But this is what we've seen. So this was the last resort, and now, of course, during this demonstration, time is a bit warped. So for real life, it would take it depends on how the situation evolves with the wind turbines and the storm. But we can suppose that the storm has passed now after a few hours, and we can send an order to stop the switch to maximal power. So now the regions don't have to keep outputting the max. We just had to edit the card, send to everyone the end of the order. We can see green text for good news. We send the card, and supposedly in the regional control room, they've received that the order has ended, and when they acknowledge, it is unpinned because the situation has ended. So that is the main demonstration of how to use OpFab to handle a crisis. Now, if we take a bit of hindsight of OpFab as an open source tool and as part of the LFE ecosystem, OpFab is developed by RTE and Allender. One of the main features that they've added is the ability to use maps on the software, because they want to be able to see where the issues are coming on the map, and so they have added this option. At RTE, we had no need for it, but that's what they did. And there is also RTE International, very different from RTE, a different company, that uses it in 3 projects. One in production. I put the names of the project in case you know them, but I'm not an expert on them. And one that is soon to be in production, and Trinity, where it's still at the demonstration stage. Whether it is for RTE, Allender, or RTE International, OpFab is always about 100 active users for each project. So, and not connected all the time, but active, they use it all the time. And there is also the adaptability of the software, because here we've shown real-time coordination, but for instance, RTE International, they use it as a planning tool. And so you can use it different way. It's just a tool, you use it the way you want. And that's it for this presentation. You can, of course, find all the documentation to be a user or a developer on this website. And you can contact me through this mail address, or through the official Slack channel of the LFE community. I think that's it for this presentation. I will now be taking questions for the people that have more to ask. Yes?
One question. So the tool is used by the 8 control centers of RTE. It's also used by the DSOs in France, or the communication is made differently with them?
I'm not exactly sure the relation with the DSO. In France, it's Enedis, and I'm not sure that they're using the tool for.
It's now it's only internally in RTE.
But in the future, maybe they could also start using it.
It's the question.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's just a matter of deciding, but technically.
But OpFab is used by RTE to communicate between the control room in RTE and also to communicate with the other TSOs at the ENSO level, so the Association of TSO in Europe.
Yes.
We have two levels of communication with OpFab.
OpFab is used.
Connected one day.
OpFab is used for ENSOE, the institution organizing all the TSOs and DSOs, maybe, I think. And in Trinity, it's demonstration stage, but it's for all the TSOs in the Balkans region. So for the countries, and they want to coordinate actions for all the countries with OpFab.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? Yes?
Yeah, do you have any details about the PMDB use case? Because PMDB is a database for the TYNDP, so it's not operational at all. So,
I will be honest, is that I interviewed RT International colleagues on the projects where they use OpFab, and they gave me the name of the project and tell me quickly how they use it. But unfortunately, I won't be able to extend to go in depth on the project. So I refer to RT International colleagues if you have any more questions. I'm sorry. Yes?
That's as part of the as part of the project. Does it include the tooling to prepare, configure the card templates workflows, or is that only the message exchange part and the UI, the user, the operator UI?
Do you mean that is there a UI where you can customize a card?
Yes, prepare the.
It's done through coding. That is, anyone can pull the projects and design their own cards, but it has to be done through some JavaScript, and it's not a UI where you can say things like that for the moment.
It meant to be an easy task. I mean, just adding a new use case should be it's a developer task, but it should be an easy task, and you can dynamically load it in real time. And there's some part are just configuration, for example, access pointed. So there's also a part to configure some stuff with screens.
Well, if any of you has any more questions, we will be available tomorrow at 3 p.m. for another demonstration in Dome E.
Which is just there.
Just there. Okay. Yes?
Can you elaborate a bit also how you can connect OpFab with other applications outside of OpFab? Because the use case that you show was just inside OpFab, but with OpFab you can connect to...
Yes, you can connect to other applications. So there is APIs that you can use, and there is also the Kafka technology. Unfortunately, it's not my domain of expertise, so I won't be able to explain all the technical details, but it's referenced in the documentation, and any other application can make calls to, can do HTTP requests to send cards, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, you can connect easily to connect all your application and to centralize the easy alarm in the application. But if you want more detail on this approach, I mean, maybe tomorrow you can come and we can show you. The idea of this presentation was to show a use case, a specific use case, so it just shows a specific part of the problem.
I just wanted to highlight that the goal of OpFab was also to be able to gather the information from various applications to one single screen, and
Yes.
that remains the goal, even if the use case that you presented is narrowed to coordination of all of the.
Unfortunately, due to time limits, we couldn't present every aspect of OpFab today, but there is a lot more. Here, during this demonstration, a lot of the menus had been cut because it's what operators use, and it has been restricted to the strict minimum necessary. But in the open source version, there is a lot more menus that you can use, and it depends on the use case you want. Here, OpFab has been used in the context of managing an electrical grid, but it can be used in any other kind of project. It's really a blank tool that you can use for any other system. It can be used for trains and whatever you want.
Just to have a view here, when you can, it's just a development view, but you see that you can see a lot of information which came from other applications. So you can have a table information, whatever information that came from other applications that can send some information that via a mechanism of templates. We have a rendering of each information that can be customized.
Yes?
Do you have maybe some insight on the usability of this? How is the experience of the users when they use it? Have you any feedback from the actual users? Can you tell me?
Yes. So a lot of the operations in the control rooms that are, how do I say it? The cards that are sent to OpFab today in the control rooms, yesterday it was a lot of phone calls and things like that, and it has sped up a lot of the process for the users. And also, OpFab is sending messages to a job, so you don't have to know if the person to a specific phone or email address, and you don't know if the person is here in a holiday, didn't see in coffee breaks. You send it to the job, and here in control rooms, it's people that are here for alerting, and they're here every day. I mean, there is always someone that is supposed to be connected, so you can see what is going on. So the feedback that I got, I've asked for it, and it has been pretty good. The operators like it.
They can use, you have a feature to use to pre-program tasks, for example. That feature. You have another use case where the IT department, when they touch a tool or there is a problem with the tool, they can really fast communicate with all the control centers saying there is this problem with this tool. We are working on it, please wait, or there is this problem, do you have this problem, and they can interact. So it's another use case of interaction between the central IT supervisor and all the control rooms. That could be, and this there was nothing to do that before.
And maybe another feedback is the time to market. When there is a new need, the pattern design is really quick.
Yeah.
As Frederick told you.
Yes.
So the feedback we have is also that it's really quick to have a new way to manage critical process in production. You don't have to wait months about that. It's about weeks, sometimes hours if we're really in crisis mode and we have permission directly. You just have to work from day-to-day with the developer team directly. So this is great feedback for us.
Yes?
You were saying around 100 users on the system in production at RTE. What is the typical amount of events or workflows?
It really depends on the situation because it's mostly used, if I'm not mistaken, for crisis. So it depends if there is a lot of problems.
I can give you the matrix tomorrow if you want.
I would say like around less than 10 cards a day.
No, but it depends on the process.
Oh yeah, on the different process.
There is two questions.
Yeah, the question was mainly the amount of different types of
Different types of cards.
I was not yet
Yeah.
thinking
How many cards? Okay. In RTE, we
hundreds.
in fact,
Yes, I should.
demonstration with all these use cases with specific for quiz management, there is at least, I guess, 30 30 scenarios with this management, 30 different scenarios, and we may have, I don't know, 20 or 30, maybe 20 of the scenario. And there is always the possibility to send some basic message.
Yeah, of course, we included the basic messaging functions. No other question? I know that lunch is next. I don't want to keep you stuck here. So thank you very much for your attention, and see you soon. Bye.